This is Corolla Digital.
Hey guys, it's Skip.
And Allison Bedell.
We're really happy to be part of Corolla Digital and to bring you our first podcast. The first bunch of episodes were recorded earlier in the year as we thought we'd be launching them back then. So you may hear some things talked about that seem untimely with what's going on right now.
Also, in the first dozen episodes, we recorded some segments where we talk about other things that we thought fans would love to hear, but it made the podcast way too long.
So you may notice that on occasion, something seems like it's missing, and that's because we cut some of it out of the podcast.
But in the meanwhile, we'll be taking listener questions from Facebook and Twitter and add things as we figure out what works and what you want to hear.
Until then, sit back and enjoy
Hammer and Nails.
Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Allison Bedell.
Okay.
All right. Hey, how we doing today?
Hey, welcome everybody.
Hello. We're back.
This is our fourth podcast.
Man.
Thank you for listening. We really, really appreciate it. Hello to Joe.
I actually got the number right. This is number 4, isn't it?
Yes.
This is
Awesome.
4.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Uno,
It's gone by
dos,
so
tres,
fast.
cuatro.
Uno, dos,
Yeah.
tres.
And then today we're
What is
going
it? What is that from? That's from.
At the beginning of Vertigo.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the commercial.
Uno, dos, tres. See you later.
I didn't make. They didn't count in order. I think it said 14.
14 is 14.
I know. What
That's
the hell?
how many albums they have.
Oh, I'm just
Isn't it-
thinking that was the most moronic beginning of a song ever.
It is, actually.
Isn't there something else though, like tequila, or there's some other like?
Hola. I'm at a place called Vertigo.
Un,
¿Dónde
dos, tres,
estás?
cuatro.
No, you're thinking of something.
Uno,
totally
I'm thinking of something
dos,
like.
1, 2, 3, cuatro.
Yeah.
What song is that?
Bully, bully.
Bully, bully.
It's
Yeah.
bully, bully.
Got it all that ain't.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bully. All right.
Another uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, cuatro.
Yeah. Right.
That's how they do that one. But the 14 thing was Bono's bright idea. Because it was the 14th record.
Right. Okay.
So, he
Sort of like
said
1% of the population, it made sense, and for the rest of us,
Yeah.
he just looks like an asshole.
Well, thank you for thank you for explaining that, because I always wondered what the hell is he saying 14
I know,
for?
it made no sense.
Pretty much tell you anything you'd like to know.
Word.
The U2 master right there.
Yeah, from the
wow.
band to you.
That's me.
Thank you.
So this week we are back, just fresh off the plane and still jet lagged up from doing our first week of filming.
How was the trip? How was the
It
get
was-
back to the show?
It was good. It was awesome.
Yeah, we had a real ass-kicking start. This year, this particular season is going to be really different and really cool and exciting and new, and they totally changed up the format. And I think it was in part to make it to show what goes on behind the scenes, how it's made. It's more like documentary style. It's got the production crew. They're wearing mics. It's like so that the viewer can see everything that's going on behind the scenes and how we actually make the show.
Right, like everybody's on the show now. We have a crew of like dozens of people behind the scenes that you don't really ever see in front of the camera.
But you do see them,
And now-
like in the background, but they're not really.
Now there's additional camera crew that just films the crew.
Oh, so you
know what I'm
have the
saying?
on-camera crew
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the behind the camera crew.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Yeah, you guys are going to like it.
Yeah.
If you liked season 1 and season 2, you're definitely going to like this
Yeah.
season, because you're going to feel like you're really in it.
Yeah, it's definitely very kick-ass, and we had a couple of really good days with really good stories. These contractors. I know every
my
show says
God.
that it's better than ever, but they just continue to get more.
Well, yeah, we
stupid.
always say, like, it couldn't possibly get any worse than this.
Yeah.
Who could possibly screw over a client worse than this?
A judge has sentenced Bernard Madoff to 150 years in prison.
And then we come across the next
Yeah.
guy, right? And it's just like, holy crap! I
Yeah.
can't even believe what this guy did to these people in their home.
Yeah, yeah, we're excited. It's really cool. Everything's really different, and it's really cool.
So we got some real juicy stories coming up, Joe.
Yeah, but
It's
that's
gonna
going to
be a good
be
season, man.
in the future podcasts when we get up to those episodes. We're saving the juice.
You're savoring.
We're saving it.
Laid back.
so that then the audience can savor it when we talk about it.
So pre-juice, it's saving, and then once you actually start to get the juice, you savor it.
Right.
Juice.
Yep.
Wow, that sounds really...
Yeah, man. That sounds...
Yeah.
Little foreplay.
Oh, boy. So you guys are going to be digging season 3, man. I can't wait till this thing gets on the air because it's just going to be so cool.
Yeah, that's very exciting. There was a contractor who was definitely fishy. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, I know exactly. Yeah,
he did. Did you not see my mouth make that shush movement? I mean, I looked right at you and I made the shh gesture.
Don't give
and you
away
just
too
kept,
much.
And you just kept talking.
Listen, you should be used to that by now.
Oh, my God. Just give the whole thing away.
Is that what you call a spoiler?
I didn't say what he did.
I said, and that's all I'm going to say. And now here's Skip to give the whole fucking thing away.
I didn't say what he did or where he went. I just said he was looking around.
You gave me eye contact and everything.
Bruce Willis is dead. Right? Bruce Willis is dead. That's the movie.
So what? Oh, I'm going to say what we've been doing in preparation to start this season. Also, Skip has been working out like a maniac. He's been really hitting the gym hard because he's got to make up for all the gym he's not able to do while we're busy filming.
True.
Because it's like it totally changes up our whole eating habits and what we do every day, and so.
It still doesn't make up for the months that we're filming because, my diet. My diet is really strict.
Yeah.
I cook everything that I eat. I don't eat out very much when we're at home. No processed food, so I can really control what I put in me. And let's face it, as you get older, it's harder and harder to control. What you look like and how your body reacts to the food. So basically everything I eat sticks to me. So I'm going to eat good food or bad food.
It's very evident if you watch all of our episodes in order and if you take note, especially now that I'm saying, if you take note of our bodies,
the beginning episode,
even our hair, first episode right down to the last, there's like a significant change in both of our bodies.
Yeah, by the end of the season.
Oh, I chunked up so much the end of season 2.
Out.
Oh yeah. I was in that truck doing surveillance, and I was like, holy rolls over my pants, Batman.
While we're at home, we can be in control of that. But on the road, we don't really cook for ourselves very much. We eat out pretty much every day. Mm-hmm. We eat on the set every day, and that's
the hardest part of it.
They cater, everyday lunch, and they bring in decent food.
They do. They bring us healthy choices because they know.
As good as it might be, whether you're having a salad or whatever it is,
but we eat like a ton of it.
Yeah, because
it's like, chicken. We'll have 6 pieces. It's free.
Right. I try to eat 6 times a day, small meals, and always keep food in me. So when you don't eat for 8-hour intervals, then you just jam and take in as much food as you possibly can. So the second half of the day, I always go back on camera. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, it's really.
I can't breathe.
Even
I'm
the snacks.
Burping, farting. I'm all.
Well, you fart anyway.
I do, but I'm so loaded up with food because I packed in as much as I could possibly eat because I was starving.
Yeah, and the snacks too, though. They got better, healthier snacks for us. I should give Hogan the props because he's the one who goes to the store and picks them out for us, and they're definitely much healthier choices this year. But the thing is it's. If I take 3 packets of the snack, it's really not serving its purpose.
Well, granola bar is healthy until you have 6 of them.
Yeah.
And then.
Yep. Exactly that.
But I was hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the only.
And you're getting
choice.
bored too, because sometimes there's a lot of waiting around too. So it's like you're sitting there like, oh.
You know what I've been killing? I've just been packing them in. Is the Planters makes these little long skinny packages that they're filled with mixed peanuts and cashews and stuff,
and a random M&M,
and then M&Ms in there. So it's like a trail mix, but with M&Ms.
A little chocolate.
I don't think it's Planters. I think it was that brand, the Kirkland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Yeah, you're right. It was correct. So, I mean, listen, those are great.
I know, especially when you get the M&M in the mix in your mouth. Oh my god!
A little bit of chocolate, but then when you have 8 of those bags of those things, and it's.
I have been really successfully dying.
100 calories each, right?
Yeah,
No.
800 calories in 20 minutes.
Yeah. I've been successfully dieting at home because we packed on so much weight from the holidays. So I tried to lose weight by the time we did that promotional shoot for Spike.
You always look good, though. So
I appreciate that very much.
That's you being super conscious of.
Well, 10 pounds on a body my size makes a huge difference, and it's I can't fit into the pants I want to fit in.
I could literally gain 10 pounds in one day.
And you can't.
I have.
He has, and he's lost it in one day. He takes
on the scale
10-pound shits.
One morning, and the next morning I was at 10 pounds heavier, and I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah, but when he loses it, also, he weighs himself before and after to go in the bathroom.
It's water weight, dear.
It's true though, because I get really thirsty, so I drink a lot. I probably drink a couple of gallons.
Water's heavy. Right?
Yeah, I bet there are some days
How much
I drink.
Is water weight per gallon?
It's like 8.4 pounds per gallon. I think.
Figure it out.
Yikes.
So there you go. There's your 10. There's your 10 pounds.
No, it's his shit. He literally weighs himself before he takes his shit and after.
I do.
That's
I get up
the other 2 pounds.
No, not for him.
Just for like a goof, I get up in the morning and the first thing I always do is step on the scale, and then I have my coffee, I eat my oatmeal, and then it's game on, and I get back.
You're saying not for him, but have you ever seen a 2-pound shit?
I don't know. I don't really know because I haven't weighed any shit.
No, there have been a few times when I called her into the bathroom like, listen, you have got to... I didn't even want to flush it. I seriously didn't want to flush it because I was so proud of it. It was like I gave birth. There was a few times I called them shitbergs. It's so much and so big that it actually breaks the water level.
Like an iceberg.
So you know like the hole in the bottom of the toilet, sometimes it goes down in there. And you're like, you know that this giant thing just came out of you. You're like, where did it go?
Where is it?
I get so upset because I turn around and I look and I'm like, what? Where did you go, giant poop? But then sometimes it doesn't go down the hole, and it kind of just like works its way around the top of the hole, and then it comes
like
up and it breaks the water level, dude.
And a little point comes out the top of the hole.
No, not even a little point, like half of it. Like there's a mound, and then I look back and I'm like, oh yeah. There you are. And that's when I get back on the scale.
Oh, my God.
And it's like a full 2 pounds. And I'm like, wow.
You've had more than that of a loss after you've weighed yourself after a good shit.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. It's really amazing.
Oh, God. And now, I guess now is a
really
really good time for me to just say, for everybody who's going to get to know me, that toilet humor is my most fucking favorite thing to talk about ever.
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet.
I talk about shit every day, I think, right?
Sitting on the toilet. Sitting on the toilet.
Every day, something disgusting.
I think you have some sort of like obsession or something with it because
it's funny. If there's nothing funnier than talking about
we're
that.
We're either talking about the dogs, the cats, hers, mine. I'm like, I realize we spend me. I get sucked into these conversations somehow. But you definitely instigate the conversation.
Yeah.
And we spend a lot of time talking about poop.
Now flush.
Yeah. It's important, too. It's how you evaluate the health of the dog. Like, oh, he just took a loose crap. You know, he's got an upset stomach. I got to give him something to take care of that. Or the cats, you know, like somebody...
Not everyone shares your... your
I don't care. That makes me happy. I'll talk about shit.
This is where some of you guys might want to tune out right now.
Two girls, one cup? Yeah? No?
What?
2 girls, 1 cup.
What does that mean?
Oh.
What is that?
You want to stop her talking about shit forever?
Oh, God.
Google 2 girls, 1 cup. Watch the video. Guaranteed you will never, ever again talk about poop. It's a cure, Skip.
Really?
It's a cure.
All right,
Trust me when
I'll do that, but I don't know that that's going to stop me.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Yes, I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, on that note, I'm
scared now because I've seen some pretty nasty videos on the internet that involve...
I know, me too.
Oh, God. What is wrong with people?
I know.
What? Like
gross.
full mouth open? Like what?
I know.
What are you doing? What?
So gross.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
What is a turn on about that?
I wanted to move on to the what the fuck because you had a really good what the fuck.
What the fuck?
Oh, my God.
We have like a serious...
Yeah, we do a lot of flying, and we're on the plane all the time. And usually, if we can, we try to... I like to sit on the window seat simply because if I get in the middle, being a little bit larger person, I feel like I'm crammed into the seat, right? So the person on the left of me and the person on the right of me, which is you're usually on either side, one or the other.
I'm always in the middle.
It's a fight for the armrest. Yeah, it's a fight for the armrest. And armrest hog over here will just actually smash my elbow right off the thing, and I can't give her an elbow to the face, which is what I want to do half the time when she does that.
There's a reason.
But the guy sitting on the other side of me, well, I'm just like, I don't even care. My elbow's on his lap.
Oh, I do that too. I put my arm right on that thing, but like the whole arm, so that whoever's sitting next to me knows you're not getting a piece of that.
And she'll just like stiffen up like this.
I do stiff.
You can't even move her elbow.
Yeah.
So here's the problem I have with the fucking armrests on these seats.
We fly JetBlue exclusively because we love JetBlue.
JetBlue is great. They're everything about it. They have the extra leg room, which I desperately need, especially for a 6-hour flight. Everything we love. The service is great.
They're clean, nice toilets.
I have no complaints about JetBlue except for this one. They have these new planes now that are great. The seats, everything's modern, the big TVs, and really the planes are really designed perfectly. But whoever the idiot was that designed these seats that has the controls for your TV monitor and your audio and your channel changer, they put them on the top side of the armrest rather than in here, right? And it's exactly in the spot. It's not here or here. It's right here. So you cannot put your arm on the armrest without changing your shit, channels flying up and down, volume going back and forth.
Or someone else's.
Yeah.
Sure.
So now not only is it a battle for the armrest, but now you are constantly changing.
He's changing my fucking channel every fucking time.
She's getting
every
pissed.
time.
She's getting so pissed, and like she's right in the middle of a movie or something.
And it changes, and I can't find the channel again because it's not like they don't have numbers. It's an up or a down. So once it's been going on scan, down, 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 I can't just go back to my fucking channel.
Here's what has to happen now. Now you have to press menu, go all the way back and find like the movie prompt, then dial through every movie that they have, find that 1 out of 30 movies, and press resume.
What the fuck?
Yep.
And now you're about 10 minutes past the scene that you just paid $8 for the movie for.
There was no fucking resolution for this. It's
God.
They need to
right where I've been. I've been in that position. You know what my solution is to that problem?
What's that?
You raise the armrest into the up position where it's like there's no armrest between you.
Right.
And especially if it's a guy sitting next to me, I'll just casually like move my leg over toward his, and he'll move away every time.
Yeah, they kind of recoil from you,
and then you're giving the controls to some moron in back of you, though.
Then you take, and then once he moves over, you take the armrest, put it back down, and get your arm on it immediately.
Right.
The whole thing.
And change your channel.
I know, but then you change your own channel. It's like if they would just design like a little thing with hinges on the side, like a little door that then you can then cover that part, the controller with. You can put your arm down and it wouldn't touch anything.
We've been on so many different airlines over the years. Some of them put them on the inside of the armrest, right? So you actually have to kind of use your thumb to control it.
And if you're fat, you're not reaching it, so forget about it.
Right. Or they'll put it on the front side of the armrest,
you can't see
over
shit.
Here, right? So it's away from your arm.
Oh, here's an idea. How about you put it right next to the fucking screen?
TV, exactly. Touch screen.
Amazing.
Touch screen.
Imagine that. So these are brand new planes right off the assembly line. So it's not like they're going to go in and change anything.
So let's take an old shitty idea and incorporate it onto the beautiful plane.
They overlooked an obvious problem like that. What's going on with that power plant on the wing?
Oh my God. It's ridiculous. It pisses me. I mean, he always, and there's a button for brightness, so he always manages to hit that, so it goes completely dark, and then I got nothing, and I'm like,
it goes black.
Totally.
And then, listen, I can't sleep on the plane no matter what I do, but I have on like my noise canceling headphones, whatever, and I'm doing my best to keep my eyes closed and try to get some sleep. And just as I'm like even approaching something that might resemble sleep, she'll smash me with her elbow. What are you doing? And I'm like, whoa.
I know. So I hit it.
This happened about 20 times during the flight. And it's like, oh my God.
Yep. Because that's what he's complaining, that I'm elbowing him because it's like really annoying.
Whoever designed that setup and the rest of the plane is beautiful. I mean, everything is like ergonomically designed. They have this new thing. It's like this food kiosk. Really? Really? Oh my God.
Blame it on the dog.
Kilo.
They have like this food. It's like a kiosk, like a little marketplace. They call it the market, and it's located like right in the middle of the plane. So you can get up and walk. You know, they come around and they bring a basket of chips and nuts and whatever. So this has like shelves,
Everything that's there,
drinks and snacks that you can go up and kind of shop in this little market and get whatever you want and bring it back to your seat.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of changes in the planes, but this one design flaw is a biggie. This is the worst, and it's definitely it warrants a what the fuck, 100%.
a huge what the fuck. I mean, it's a really huge flaw in the plane.
Oh yeah, I have one
It
more
causes
thing.
such frustration.
While we're on this,
this is good.
I was going to save it for maybe another what the fuck in a different episode. But while we're talking about planes and seating and all of that, so now, as I just mentioned, I'd like to get as far away from the aisle and in the middle as I can get. I usually get up to against the window, which, by the way, also you can take your little blow-up inflatable pillow, put it up against the wall by the window, and kind of lean into it, right? So this flight, it doesn't work out that way, and I wind up on the aisle. Well, I don't remember the last time I've flown in an aisle seat, but not good. So you're a big guy, Joe. Someone like you or myself, you sit in the aisle seat, and here's the armrest, and they've probably tightened up, you know, to make these wider seats and bigger seats. You got to give the space somewhere, right? So the aisle is maybe a little bit smaller than your average aisle. So now I get onto the plane. And we board, I don't know, probably up, you know, toward the beginning of the boarding. So now the whole plane has to board past us. And my arm, I'm not like this. I'm not in the aisle, right? I'm basically on the armrest, and I'm staying within my
confines of your seat.
Yeah, I'm staying within the perimeter of where I should be, right? Every single person that's walking past me, every
fucking one.
is walking by, and I don't know what was in the aisle that they had to kind of turn sideways a little bit to get through, maybe because it was just a narrow aisle, but everyone is going by and turning right here and rubbing their ass on my arm and on my shoulder.
Or stepping backwards into his foot space to stand there with their ass
right
in front of
while
them.
everyone's loading the overhead with their luggage, right? You know, sometimes you got to let some people walk by.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
So now the people that are loading their shit and then one of the other people by, they come into like where your legs are.
Into his foot space.
Full ass right here. Right here.
There. Right the fuck there.
I've been there.
Dude, to where I actually had to lean completely over on as far onto her lap as I could to not have this guy's ass actually touch my face.
Yep.
And I'm like, dude, are you for real? Like, and it wasn't just him. It was like almost every single person I got.
Yeah.
I speak up. Did you say something?
Yeah, I'm like. I mean,
Well, no, he doesn't say. I would if it
like-
was me, but he didn't. He's polite. He was trying to keep it chill.
I didn't say anything until one point. It was just like, all right, enough already.
I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
As soon as ass makes contact with my face, I'm speaking up.
Oh yeah,
I'm fucking saying something.
You dick!
But here's what's happening. It's also rubbing against my arm. Everyone that goes by. Full ass rub. Kind of like almost like they intentionally rubbed it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
I mean, I had to actually get like I
I
almost
want a piece of you, Skip.
I felt like a baby wipe, you know?
Yeah, it was really.
I'm like, are you kidding me? And the funny part was, I leaned over and I tell Allison, I'm like, listen, man, this is messed up. I'm like, you know, every single person that has walked by has rubbed their ass on my arm, and I'm like, I'm really not digging this at all. But I said, the funny part is, I actually minded some less than others.
That's what he said.
Of course.
Yeah. Some of them were really like, no, oh no, you didn't. And I saw them coming down the aisle and I'm getting ready. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it. And then another one, I was like, all right.
That's not so bad.
All right.
That's not so bad.
I was like,
hey, you work out, don't you?
I'm like, why are you walking so fast? Slow down.
And that was all the hot guys.
No, it was not.
Have you ever been on a plane that was nearly full? You have the last few people coming down the aisle. You know there's a couple of seats left, and it's just you and Allison, and you have that nice buffer seat in between.
Yeah.
Best way to keep someone from sitting down in that seat.
What's
no
that?
matter what.
What?
Cough like you have Ebola.
Oh,
Cough, sniffle.
love it.
like hack, just, and when they come up, close their eyes, right into the seat they'll be sitting in. And if they come and they look at you, you look at them and go, oh, God, do I feel like shit right now.
That's awesome.
So many times Carol and I have completely avoided having someone get in the seat between us. Wow. Just a little tip. One of Skip's tips.
Wow.
Give it to you,
dude,
Joe.
that's Joe's tips.
I appreciate that.
Dude, thank you for that.
I'm a worm.
That was awesome, man.
I appreciate that.
All right, so I said my piece. Airlines definitely need some revamping in that department.
So I also have an airport-related what the fuck.
Okay. Well, we're on the subject.
Okay, so I had to use the bathroom at JFK.
Oh, what a surprise. We're going to talk about poop.
Yeah. No, not poop. All right, so listen. So I go into I like to use the handicap stall, like on the end, because they're bigger. Oftentimes I have like Kilo and with his bag and everything with me. I don't want to put it on him on the ground.
You know the handicapped people that are listening right now are going, you bitch.
You know what? I have 3 herniated discs in my back. I need some room to to grab onto the holdy thing, as I lower myself down. Gotcha. I like the thing on the wall. So you know what? It's nobody's fucking business what my handicap is. So fuck them anyway.
I'm with you. So
anyway, I get into this stall. There's this one particular fucking stall in the JetBlue terminal. I get in there and it's got automatic. It's got the button on the wall and like a little sensor. You know what I mean? And there's no flush handle. Yeah. It's got the automatic flush. Right. Okay, so
which means the toilet is totally filled with someone else's crap before you got in there because that mechanism is not working today.
No, it was clean. It was clean. So what I have a routine when I go to use a public bathroom is if I'm going to pee quick, I'm gonna squat over the bowl. I'm not touching a fucking thing. But if I got to do something else, I'm going to make sure that the whole area is sanitary. So the first thing I do is I take the TP and I wipe the seat down if it's wet and the front and like the section. I make that sure the whole thing is dry. Throw that in the toilet, and then I double line the seats with TP before I sit down.
Mummy wrap the whole toilet.
Right. It's covered so that there's no toilet touching my skin anywhere. No contact whatsoever.
Got it.
So I do my whole thing. I turn around. I'm using the arm bar on the fucking wall to help, leverage myself slowly onto the ball. And then right before my ass hits the ball, it automatic flushes. Whoosh, right? And like everything, like it was like a splash, right?
Sucks the paper off the...
Yeah, like water went everywhere, right? So now I got to start the whole fucking thing again, right? So now
your pants are down.
Yes.
It's like a little Moses in your toilet bowl.
Yes.
Yeah, because there's always one little part of that paper that's actually touching the water that's like hanging off the seat.
Yes, I don't like that.
The whole thing.
Right down.
I don't like that. So then I go and I got to start the whole thing again. But now I got to do it quicker, so that it doesn't happen again. So now I'm lining the seats, right? But now I'm like doing it kind of like really quickly, but I'm also facing the other way now so that I don't have to do a full turnaround and alert the sensor. Right. So I, again, line the thing, and I sit down really quick, and I'm sitting. I do my thing. I'm like, cool, everything's good. I grab the TP. I go to start wiping. In the middle of me wiping, this fucking thing auto-flushes. And it splashes not only my ass,
washes your whole ass.
Not only my ass, but my fucking hand, which is down there inside of the bowl. Get fucking splashback on my hand, on my ass, auto flush in the middle.
It's your own waste in there that you're getting
gross
splashed
in the middle
on.
of me going. The whole fucking thing splash my hand, splash my ass. So now I'm trying to figure out how am I going to clean all this now and still be in the proximity of the toilet, because now when you get up, it starts flushing again.
Wow, man.
It was horrifying.
This is a major dilemma.
It needs to not, like, I don't want auto, like, the auto flush was
who
not.
Can you talk to about
it was too strong. Like, how do you make your ball not splash?
I already have a solution to this problem.
Tell us,
you guys
enlighten
need
us.
to bring these problems to me.
Okay.
Because I can't help. Okay, do you know that little black sensor?
Yeah.
That you see right next to the button that you use to manually flush?
Yeah.
Before you start anything, wet a little piece of toilet paper, put it over that sensor.
And cover it up.
Cover it up.
Wow. See? You see? Sometimes you just got to get someone else's input.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And what's even more fun is if you have a straw, you can actually play a little game and just use spitballs.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I'm going to be doing that anytime soon.
You know what really sucks about that, though? The fact that you're so close to the toilet. Like, I'm talking pre-game. You're so close to the toilet.
Right.
And you start the urgency as you get close, as everyone knows. Closer you get to the toilet.
Oh,
it's already coming out.
Full turtle head.
So now you're rushing.
Yeah.
Now it's all about, you know what I do? If I have to take a dump on I usually don't line the bowl. What I'll do is I'll take 10 or 20 of those
paper seat covers.
Yeah.
And just give them a quick rinse under the sink. Scrub down the bowl real quick with 10 or 20 of them. So you don't get your hands wet at all.
Wow.
Dry them off with another 10 or 20. Throw them on the floor to give the janitor something to do. And sit on the fucking bowl.
Wow.
But not before I plug up that sensor.
You just helped me remember, actually, it was a part of that fucking experience, was that actually that is what I did first, was to wipe the seat. And I did use, and I never used those fucking seat protectors. And that first try before that splash came is what I did. I used it, and it's got like the little dangle thing that like in the hole in the middle. And you're like, do I let it dangle or do I like rip that off?
Well, that's the part that when you rip that off and it touches the water, and then when it flushed, it sucks the whole thing. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's made so you don't have to touch it after you.
That's designed so when you flush the toilet,
like in a dilemma.
It actually pulls the paper in. It's supposed to do that.
I felt like it was going to draw it in before I started to sit.
Well,
but then it did that. It did the auto flush, and it got it all wet, and it sucked it, and that's why I had to start the whole thing with toilet paper.
I don't think there's any federal penalty for disabling.
Unlike the smoke detectors.
That's awesome. I noticed the same thing on the way back from LAX. I went into the stall, and there's the one open door. There's a line full of fucking people, and I see one open door that like wasn't anybody going there. So I walk over and I look, and I see a bowl full of like TP and P. I'm like, what the fuck, like people don't like want to flush, so I walk in there, the seat's got like drips on it and everything, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with these women? They don't clean the seat, nobody's flushing. So I take my foot and I kick the thing, if everything flushed, it wasn't jammed. I'm like, like lazy bitches, it sucked everything down. I wiped the seat down, I threw the toilet paper in there, and I went, I peed, I did my thing. And then when I was done and I went to flush, that fucking water split. It wasn't pee on the seat. It was the water from the bowl from such a hard flush.
Wow.
Why do they do that?
Because people are animals, that's why.
The split, it's like the flushes are too hard.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the daily what the fuck.
There it is.
No respect.
What the fuck?
I read something on Facebook the other day that says human beings are
disgusting.
The excrement of the universe.
Oh, God.
The universe's excrement.
Yes.
Wow.
And you know what? You walk into a bathroom. I personally, every single time I am on a line in a bathroom, if I walk in and I have to take a leak, and I see that the bowl is just covered with piss, I will lift that seat with my foot and leave it up. For the next person to walk in, so they know it wasn't me. Because walking out, you kind of, it would be embarrassing walking out and see it piss all over the bowl, and you're like, you have to, what are you going to do? You're going to, I didn't piss on that shit.
It wasn't me, man.
No.
Hey, it wasn't me.
You lift it up with your foot, you leave it up, and you just walk out. That way they know you lifted the seat. I have a fix for almost anything.
The fact that you're
you really
even conscious of what the guy behind you online is thinking, that says that you're a different kind of dude. Most people just don't care.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Once again,
Thank you.
The fuck?
And what the fuck?
All right.
So, you want to talk about some things that are online that I was looking through this morning? I get that morning thing with all the email, with all the stories, Huffington Post, and all this other shit. Yeah. A couple of interesting things. Did you hear about that story with the couple who was married for 16 years?
Oh, this is a cool story. Yeah.
And they discovered through watching family home movies that the wife and the husband and wife were at the same water park 16 years prior when they were kids. On the family movie of the girl, the wife, the whole family is at this water park, and the whole movie filming them, and all of a sudden this kid walks into the frame. He's just standing there in the middle of their home movie, just standing there with glasses on, doing nothing. And it turns out that was her husband.
So did the husband, like, you know when, like, somebody sits you down to watch the home movies, you're like, oh, here we go. Right?
And they're both in it.
Imagine you're watching someone's home movie that's, like, 30 years old or whatever it is, and all of a sudden, like, you're in it. You're like, what?
How fucking freaky
Like, you just
is that?
happen to be at the same place on the same day. And you're like, wait a minute, back that up. That's me.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it turns out that they had actually gotten married.
It's
right?
incredible. And, I think that brings it back to the whole, like, fate thing, like meant to be.
Right.
Like, you and I.
What are the chances of that, right?
We have been.
The odds are staggering.
I think we were talking about that both of you and I had been to Marrakesh the same summer that in West Hampton Beach.
Right.
Like we went to the same clubs, and there's been times like where we did the same things. And I've been to like where we met. I've been to that store many times before me. It's just like you never know. Like there's a lot of stories like that people have where they've been at the same place at the same time.
You and I definitely had been to a lot of the same places.
Yeah, in the clubs.
Like, decades
back in the
before
day.
we met. Yeah,
with big hair.
Dating myself, but yeah, decades.
Yeah.
Back when I was a youngster.
When he had Flock of Seagulls hairdo.
Doesn't everybody have some form of Flock of Seagulls hairdo? Wearing your members only jacket and
I had
Capicios.
big high hair. The higher the better.
What were we thinking, Joe, back in the 80s, man?
Actually, I always had hair down to my ass.
Really?
I was one of those guys.
Rocker. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So forget about the hair. I mean, the hairstyles were definitely crazy. But some of the fashion choices that we had back then, like we're talking about like day glow colors and like
Yep.
So remember
Just
the
a little.
Frankenstein shoes?
Oh yeah.
Remember Frankenstein shoes?
Oh yeah. I wore
heels and
those.
platforms?
Yeah.
So did I.
Platform.
In high school.
Oh
When I was in high
no!
school.
I wore them when they were Steve Madden in style.
Oh my god.
I must have weighed like 100 pounds soaking wet, and I was just about as tall as I am now. And I wore these things, which put me over like 6'2".
Oh my god!
And I looked like I looked like a Q-tip.
Like Frankenstein.
Q-tip dipped in magic, like ink.
Oh god!
Marker ink.
That's
it was
funny, man.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Oh god! And think about the 80s. That fucking high shorts. Have you seen the chicks in these high-waisted shorts again? Like in the my god, we walking down Venice Beach the other day where
Yeah, some of the fashions are coming back,
these
and I
girls.
think some of the ones that should not have
never.
come back.
And it's
Yeah.
like they're really high-waisted shorts with that fucking 9-inch zipper. It's like, ladies, there's a reason they call those mom jeans, and it's not because they're fucking flattering. Oh my god, it's really, and they're like high cut in the back, like by your ass, and the pockets are real high. There's no way to make your ass look flattering in that shape of jeans shorts. Like
I think while they're at it, they should just bring back like parachute pants and capicios.
There you go.
Oh god.
I agree.
That's just about as bad right there.
Or like when the guys wore
Things
the
that
high
you should
pants.
never wear again. That's on the top of the list.
It is. Those shorts are horrible. So I found this other story on Huffington Post this morning. I didn't tell you about this. It's really gross. There is this.
Haven't we already filled the gross quota for the day on this podcast?
Because it's shocking. There's this woman. There's this woman that was looking on Craigslist. She was pregnant. She was looking on Craigslist for kids' clothes to buy. Mm-hmm. So she went to this woman's house to look at the clothes. The woman who was in the house takes the woman, beats the shit out of her, and cuts her baby, which she's 7 months pregnant, cuts the baby out of her. Right?
Come on.
Cuts the baby out of her in her basement. Takes the baby, goes upstairs, bloody scene. The husband now comes home. The husband, who thinks this woman, his wife, is pregnant, now the baby fucking died after she took it out of the lady, right? Oh. So now there's this dead baby. She puts it in the bathtub and says that she had a miscarriage. So he goes to check on the baby. It's in the tub now. Here's the baby takes its last gasp, right? So he's like, oh my God. So he scoops up the baby, takes his bloody wife, it's not her blood, to the hospital, right? When they get to the hospital, she tells the hospital staff, she admits it's not her baby. She didn't have the baby. Meanwhile, the woman who was cut open is still in the fucking basement, gets to the phone and call 911. Right? So they come, yeah. And meanwhile, she didn't die because the woman apparently had done research on how to do a cesarean, and that's how she cut the woman, like, properly to get this baby out. She was going to steal her baby.
This should really be a what the fuck, because I mean, like, what is wrong with people, man?
That sounded like a movie trailer that you just described.
That would,
that doesn't even sound like.
Can you imagine?
That is.
Don't go to strangers'
horrible.
houses. Don't do it. You meet at fucking McDonald's or 7-Eleven if you're going to buy something off Craigslist. You morons.
A woman.
So that is a really perfect example of why like this whole internet Craigslist and all these other sites that you can meet strangers and interact with.
Just like did to get his workers.
That's right. Yeah, going back to. We asked him, like, well, where are you guys qualified? How long have they been working with you? Corolla goes, he tiled the backsplash in the kitchen, and they were just coming off
popping off like chiclets.
They're popping off like a homeless guy's teeth. He's like, where did you get this tile guy? And he's like, well, mostly I picked them up on Craigslist. So I'm like, really?
Yeah, Corolla's like, Craigslist is for picking up dudes only.
That's scary, though, man. It's like, really, I mean, you got to think about it. It's not, hey, I'm selling my car. Let me go meet this dude in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. You really don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah,
today.
people will rob you, too. I mean, people wait because they know that you want to buy something, so you're coming with money. Like, go someplace public where there's a lot of people.
Yeah, be careful out there, people. It's a crazy world.
And it's funny because you see these videos posted on Facebook and listed as, like, described as shocking.
Right.
Nothing is shocking anymore.
No.
Everyone should know that these things go on.
Right.
But for some reason, there are still a few people out there that just that pay no attention to the fact that there are sick human beings in the world that will do something like cutting a baby out of another woman to claim it their own.
Well, the crazy thing is that, like, this is nothing new. People have been doing horrific crimes, as long as man has been alive, right? But the fact is now you're getting more exposure to it.
Hear about it.
And if anything, it should make you more aware, that you're actually hearing these things. Like, hey, like
it happens.
Like, pay attention, man. It's scary out there.
Do you have any other tips besides that?
I have a tip for today. Yes, I do. I've been using a product lately that I have come to love. We got it on the gardeners.com website.
Yes.
Right? Okay. It's a product called Shoe In. You guys got to check this out. It's a plastic molded shoe that you slip your foot into with your own shoe on. So basically the idea is that you can go outside and walk around outside in the yard, in the mud, in the snow, whatever it may be, with your own shoes on and not get mud and track all that stuff back in the house. Okay. So you don't have to leave your muddy shoes at the door.
Tell them about the underside of this.
You can leave these things out on the front porch. You get in the house and your own shoes now are still on your feet,
clean
and dry and clean and nice. They have different types. Some have a tread in the bottom that's just designed for working in the garden or working around the house or whatever. And then they have another one that I've been using recently, which I love. It actually has metal spikes on the bottom of it, almost like cleats. And you slip your regular shoe into these things, and
while you're wearing your shoe, you just put your foot right into the whole thing.
They're so easy to get on and off. You just step into them, and they stay on. They don't back off your feet. And now you can walk across the frozen driveway,
ice,
where you're like normally falling on your head and killing yourself.
Yeah, wow. You can dance on a sheet of ice and you're not slipping.
These things are amazing. Check them out. Shoe In. Look them up online on gardeners.com. We just got a pair for my mom. And, she's walking up and down her driveway, taking the garbage out, whatever she's doing. She lives alone. And, you hear so many stories of especially elderly people that are falling on the ice and the snow and they're breaking everything. And that's usually the turning point. When that happens, everything's downhill for them, Sure. So we say, hey, let's get her a pair of these shoes. And she absolutely loves them, man. She's walking all over the place. She's like, oh, I love them. I was walking the dogs. I took the garbage out.
It's got to be a great product for, like, let's say, for laborers or helpers that have to run to the truck all the time, especially when it's muddy out or, or you're going to be dragging stuff into a client's home.
Right.
That's gotta be
you're absolutely right, Joe, and that's a great point because we have those cloth booties that you see guys wear a lot, and we'll put the booties on that when you're walking around the house, you're not getting the actual bottoms of your boots that you just came from the yard and the work, getting tools from the work truck and bringing that back into the house. Right. So when you get up to the front door, you put the booties on, and now you're walking with the little cloth booties. Right. This essentially eliminates that, really, because if you have clean work boots on when you get to the job site, you slip into these things every time you're walking out of the house.
Or you can have your booties on, and I'm sure the booties will go into the big the big shoes.
Oh, yeah. You can actually step into these things with work boots on, with regular shoes. They have a really cool mechanism inside. It's like these plastic...
tongue, like a tongue.
Yeah, it's almost like a tongue. It's kind of like the principle of a barb on a fish hook. When you push in one direction, it prevents you from pulling it back out, right?
Yep.
So they put just enough tension on your shoe that it won't come off your foot when you're walking around. But when you want to take it off, you just kind of step on the back of it and you pull your foot right out.
If you want to entertain your client, you could paint them bright red, put on a little nose,
yes,
a little round nose, and walk in as like Ronald
they do
McDonald
actually kind of appear as a clown shoe.
Hey, kids,
that's the only.
I'm here to do your tiles.
Yeah, that's the only downside. But if you can get past the way they look, I got to tell you,
They're awesome.
people, these things are awesome. Check them out. Gardeners.com. Shoe in. Great product.
All right, so we got time for one last thing, and that is going to be my obsession.
Oh, let's hear. Yeah, let's hear about that.
You
Does it
may
have to do with poop?
Yes.
What a surprise!
You may or may not have heard of a product called Poo-Pourri.
Joe, when we come up with the titles for each episode, what we're going to call each episode of this podcast, this has got to be like the Poo Pod.
This is
Yep.
the Poo Pod.
This is the
Yes.
Poo Pod.
The Poo-cast.
All right, so let me. I'm actually going to the website right now. There's a pooperri.com.
You see what I'm working with here, right, Joe?
website. It is a product. It is a before you go product that you spray onto the toilet water before you use the toilet, and anything that comes out of you will not stink up the bathroom, and you will only smell the beautiful, refreshing scent of Poo-Pourri.
So there's an interesting concept right there because, you got the Glade air freshener or the Febreze or whatever, right? And you kind of spray it as you're on your way out the door from the bathroom, right? This stuff here, you actually spray onto the water.
Toilet water, not into the air, onto the toilet water.
You spray the water.
Mm-hmm. And it is fucking incredible that it works not only well, but it works so well that people will walk into the toilet that you just had diarrhea, and people will say, "Oh, it smells good in here. What did you do?"
I thought it was kind of a goof when she first got this stuff. It was like a gag, novelty type of thing you'd buy online or whatever, Poo-Pourri, and there was like a little funny ad for it. And she's like, "You got to try this stuff." And I'm like,
because I had heard about it actually on the Elvis Duran in the Morning radio show. Yeah. They were talking about it, saying how it really works, and I'm like, I am all for that because I'm at work. We have only so many bathrooms to use, and you never want to be the one who stinks it up, so that when the next person comes in and they see you leave, and you're like, "Oh, it wasn't me," like.
You do, it wasn't me.
Yeah. So and it always can come in handy, especially like if you're in somebody else's house. You never know when you're going to get a case of the shits.
And I've been using Febreze enemas for the past, I don't know how long.
Nope.
That's awesome.
Nope. This is it comes in 2 ounce, 4 ounce, and 8 ounces, and they have probably about 20 different scents.
The principle, the water. Science behind it, according to them, is that
the poo drop.
Yes, you spritz the bowl before you go, and no one else will ever know.
There's the slogan.
I like that.
There's the slogan. Hey, that could be your first endorsement deal. Right
I know. I'm telling you, they have like this cute little video on their website.
So the science behind it, Joe, is that it leaves like an oil slick on the water. So when you spray it, it covers the whole water with like this oily film, and it smells good. But the oily.
And that's how I like to keep it, leaving not a trace that I was ever here, let alone that I just birthed a creamy behemoth from my cavernous bowels. Nothing is worse than stinking up the shared toilet at work, or the toilet at a party, or your lover's apartment. Of course, flushing removes the graphic evidence. Maybe 2 or 3 flushes if your skid marks are as tenacious as mine. But what can be done of that subtle scent of a 300-cow dairy farm? Aerosol air fresheners aren't the most effective option, or the healthiest. Trying to mask the stench, giving you a nice blend of ChemLab carnations with just a touch of feces. So, how do you make the world believe your poop doesn't stink? Or in fact that you never poop at all? Poo-Pourri. Poo-Pourri is the before-you-go toilet spray that's proven to trap those embarrassing odors at the source.
And save relationships.
Oh my God.
Simply spritz Poo-Pourri in the bowl to create a film on the water's surface that actually traps the odors in their porcelain prison.
It's a picture of a poop in a bowl right now.
And when your little astronauts splash down and make contact with the film, they release Poo-Pourri's pleasant aromas, so all those around you can smell as a refreshing bouquet of essential oils. Yes, it is a real product.
And yes, it really works.
We've sold over 4 million bottles. On Amazon alone, there are over
really?
1,000 reviews rating it
Yeah.
4.8 of 5 stars.
I give it 5 stars.
That's a better Amazon rating than the iPhone 5.
I give it 6 stars.
Yeah.
If it doesn't
It
completely
actually
stop
works.
your stench from spreading, send it back for a full
refund.
Our unconditional stink-free guarantee. If your poo stinks, click here to get your poopery today at poopery.com. So whether you need to pinch a loaf at work, cut a rope at a party, or lay a brick at your boyfriend's, your days of embarrassing smells or prairie dogging it are over. Poopery. Our business is to make it smell like your business never even happened.
I fucking love Poopery.
It works.
And
I have to say, it actually works.
We
I thought was
tested
a
it
goof.
out. Who shit first, me or you?
I don't know.
Oh, after I got it in the mail.
Really?
After I got it. Oh, I did.
Probably you.
Yeah. After we got it in the mail, I went to the
She
bathroom.
couldn't
at
wait
home.
for this thing to come. It's like she was like,
Yeah.
like a dog sitting on the porch with panting. You know, when the UPS guy pulled up, here it is, here it is.
Yeah, so I sprayed it on the bowl. I took a shit, and then the best part was though making him go in there right after, and he did reluctantly, and he confirmed it. Yeah, it doesn't smell in here.
So in essence, and that's no pun intended.
Yeah.
In essence, what it does is it wraps the poo in like an oily
Right.
film, much like a duck in an oil slick,
Yeah.
and prevents
Yeah.
any
But it's not-
malodorous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's not a greasy thing though. Like when it
leaves a
flushes, it
film.
doesn't
It
leave.
flushes.
It all
leaves a
goes
film
down.
on the water. So, you know, I guess whatever is down there, you know, the bubbles and everything rise to the top of the water. It doesn't penetrate that film.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps everything below the water level.
Wow.
It's incredible. I mean, and it's
But you got to
it's-
spray it before you go.
Yeah.
That's
Before
the
you
key.
go, yeah.
So sometimes I forget and like I'll spray it after
And I know
go.
it. I know it.
And she's like, "Wait a second. You didn't spray before you went." And I'm like,
Not
"Yeah,
following instructions.
That's
yeah,
right."
and there's a variety of scents, all different kinds. If you go on their website and you look at all and there's ones that are like more manly scented, they're more floral or more like citrus. It's
There's
really
there's
nice.
There's a Brute and a Old Spice version.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna have to look into that.
yeah. It's incredible. We've got one in every bathroom. We always take it with us when we go out to California. It's like,
you always take it with you.
and you always use it. Thank you very much.
All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wrap it up. The Poo Pod. Thanks so much for joining us
Thank
again
you so
today.
much. We love you guys.
We love you. And we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Allison Vidal. We'll see you next time, right here on Hammer and Nails.
This is Corolla Digital.